clips as well. So it looks like we are about to get started here in just a moment, and we'll see. Looks like we are going now. So with those boots, we can do like those normal checks that are just available to us with the bonk rocks. Just a full heart container there for Michael. But we are going to go ahead and get a check of the uncle area from Liam. And it looks like Edium is going to be joining me for co-coms. How you doing, Edium?
Hey, how are you doing? Sounds like Jetters was not available at the moment, so I'm going to fill in for now. We'll see if he gets back or not. But yeah.
Well, I appreciate you joining me here today because I am the guy who knows nothing about how to do these glitches or why we're doing the glitches except to find items.
Yeah, well, I can... I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I can definitely fill you in on some things. Looks like we have... okay, 10 arrows at Lumberjack, and Liam Atlas checking bonk rocks.
And just a heart container there, so still no major progression, but it looks like Michael is setting up the first glitch here.
Yeah, this is Death Mountain Ascent. This is a Lumberjack Death Mountain Ascent. You don't see this one as often, but it gets you kind of stuck in the clouds, so you have to get yourself in bounds, which is a little bit tricky. There we go.
I really love how the clouds just kind of act as though, you know, it's water physics up there.
Yeah, the clouds do not behave in a sensible way, so some funny stuff can happen. Michael finding a blue mail there on Spec Rock, and he can just clip up and grab that.
Very nicely done.
It looks like we're gonna get gonna try, however, wasn't able to get it.
Alright, so I believe Michael going to go head down and pick up that old man in the cave to get that free item and that save and quit point. That's going to be useful. I do know at least that much for these overworld glitches. Being able to start on the mountain to start a couple glitches is always a nice thing.
Alright, Liam, gonna head into Kakariko. So not going for too many glitches right away. Just gonna try to gather some items. And just finding a bunch of heart pieces and a heart container.
And the old man just has a heart piece for us today.
And Michael K gonna clip up to Tower of Hera. No, never mind. He makes a liar of me. I haven't seen this clip before, actually. Oh, that goes to Graveyard Ledge, okay.
That just blew my mind. I was like, suddenly we're, I thought we were doing the same thing you said, the Tower of Hera clip, but here we get Ice Rod.
Yeah. Now that is not the normal way I do Graveyard Ledge clip, but it works.
And I do believe this is our first check of the chicken hut on Liam's side. And there's the moon pearl, so that's going to be nice to have.
Yeah, always nice to see a free moon pearl. Overworld glitches can sometimes tuck that moon pearl away in some really annoying locations. So Liam's gonna head over to check Sahasral's hut, possibly following up by the Eastern Palace dip. Wow,
the bow hanging out here in Sash's hut. That's just like basically a free Eastern dive at this point.
Yeah. 4 hearts without the lamp, it's a little tricky, but definitely doable, especially with blue mail. Liam is going to go into the race game via the normal method. There is a clip to get up there a little faster, but it's a bit of a trickier one and only a minor time save anyway. Okay, looks like Jedders is here, so I'm going to step out and I'll turn it over to him. So hopefully he can fill you in.
All right, Eddie, enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for stepping in during this little gap here. So now Liam's done that clip over in the desert area, and Michael's still continuing through Eastern here. I'm sure if you can handle these overworld glitches, then of course dark rooms shouldn't be too much of an issue, but at 4 hearts they can be a little dangerous. And welcome, Jedders, to the fun today.
Fun indeed. I'm excited to see this match between Michael K and Liam Atlas.
So to kind of bring you up to speed really quickly, it looks like we had a pretty free moon pearl over in the chicken hut today. Liam doing these bomb strats here to check the right side of desert. But other than that, we found a ice rod in Graveyard Ledge, and Blue Mail was hanging out on Speck Rock.
Very nice free moon pearl. That's the second time I think I've seen it in Chicken Hut this tournament. So we got Michael K using the good old arrow strat to mark the walls for darkroom navigation.
All right, just a big 20 for Liam in that big chest of desert. So no progression there, it seems. Without that fire source, I don't believe we're going to be able to even clip to the backside of desert to finish it off. All right, so Liam going to be giving us our first check here of Agina's Cave. Just $50 though. Michael K, meanwhile, doing a very nice job with this dark room. And as soon as we get that pot picked up, we'll be using that key and heading on to the Armos Night fight.
Yeah, that early bow is very nice to have. It's kind of a pain when it goes missing and you're locked out of finishing Easterner Pod. Bow can be sometimes a little bit difficult to find.
Yeah, no doubt. Michael's showing the bow strats here on these enemies. Usually we have that sword or something just to kind of, knock them all out at one time, but not the case today. But now setting up these Igors and going to be headed to that Armos fight. And Big Heart Container outside of the dam today. Ooh, and Michael doing the nice quick kill strat there with Armos Knights. Very nicely done, and being rewarded with a sword, but also that red pendant. Not quite what we want to see. We want to see those crystals, but I'm sure that sword progression will be nice. But speaking of progression, there's a glove hanging out in the mini Moldrum cave there for Liam.
Yeah, that's going to be nice for Liam. It's going to make things a bit more convenient. There are certain clips that he can now kind of bypass, but it is also potentially required for Ice Palace.
Yeah, so Ice Palace, kind of the main dungeon, I guess, that these guys definitely need Titan's Mitts to get to, if I understand this logic correctly.
Actually, they don't need any... To get to Ice Palace, they won't need any gloves, but to finish it, they'll need at least one pair. There is a way to screen wrap into Ice Palace, which we may see them do later on.
Ooh, and unfortunately, Liam running into one of those crabs, taking a death there. Those things hit pretty hard for the beginning of the game with 2 hearts of damage. And so Liam dropping in with that glove, going to be checking backside of escape. This will be some new checks for us. We just got 50 bucks, the map, and the small key. So opting not to do that dark room, but there's the gloves for Michael.
Alright, so Liam is gonna head up to Death Mountain using the good old classic DMA. Gonna make sure to scroll the screen enough. You gotta scroll it up and then back down enough so that when you walk into this cave here, it will load quickly, because if you don't scroll it down enough, it will take about a minute or two to load. So Michael going for that fake flipper. Fake flippers in Overworld glitches is in logic, so you are expected to navigate these places as well.
And I guess you could consider this kind of, the minor glitch in a way. We do see this trick done in the normal randos as well. I say normal, this is normal, but it's abnormal to me because with all these strats going on at this point, I'm just too scared to ask what's happening.
I would imagine, but Michael K looks like he stored that water walk so that he could get back to the whirlpool here much quicker.
Yeah, that's a huge heads-up play because swimming is very much slower than dashing across the water there like that.
Oh, and it doesn't look like he's picked up the Moon Pro yet either, so that'll be another reason why.
Well, gets the fairy and then, or with the bottle, gets rid of the fairy, and then suddenly that's our free prize today as well. So, letting that one go back into the wild. So we got a good hint there on Liam's side. Something sharp in the western wing of Swamp Palace. So a sword over there. Michael tried to hover that gap earlier to get that heart piece and failed and did not go back for it. So he does not have that knowledge just yet.
And it looks like Michael was trying to set up for something potentially, but or maybe he just doesn't like Zora's.
He's at 489 rupees. He's going to need 11 more, so he's probably trying to grind out a little bit here to get a few more. All right, so Liam making his way into Sasha's hut and going to be getting that bow here in the back. The green pendant is in Ice Palace today. And I think we got some other hint earlier. Chat was kind of pointing out, I may have missed it, about some item being in Ice Palace. I could be wrong on that.
And chat asking, can't you clip to that big 20 on the Zora ledge? And Michael K certainly could have if he chose to, but I'm not sure as to why he chose not to, but looks like he's going to do a clip here. And he's going to head into K45.
We do have quite a bit of a health difference between our two runners. I think a lot of this has to do with Blind's Hut was pretty loaded on that love today, and Michael has not made his way over to Kakariko just yet.
Yep, and Michael clipping over to Checkerboard before he heads on down to Agina to check out what the old man is hiding behind the wall today.
You know, anytime you have to abandon a Zora check, such as Michael did, and then you find rupees in a chest, it's like, man, why couldn't I got this just a little sooner?
Yeah. So Michael showing us a little bit of a different way to clip here. Sometimes when you do it, you have to do it pretty precisely, but with the timing of the bomb. But you can use a bomb to push yourself into a wall and clip in that way.
Now this will be a new check for us with having a bottle in hand. Sick Kid just having a piece of heart. So no progression there today either.
Yeah, Sick Kid giving away the last of his health to Michael K. Says, "Here it is. Good luck. Take down that big pig for me." And nice chicken toss.
Not only are the runners clipping today, we got those chickens clipping too.
So Liam at the big key chest in Eastern, gonna head on over to Armos at this point. Gotta say, that was a convenient place for the bow.
Yeah, even in, the glitchless modes, that's a super nice placement, and it's kind of like almost, I feel, unprecedented for it to show up like that in Overworld glitches. Oh, Liam down to just 1 heart, though, here in this dark room. Gonna have to be very careful.
And he makes it. There is... Oh, he's got the powder, so no health worries now. And Michael is gonna get to Blind's hut, so...
And Michael getting all that love from Blind today.
I would not be surprised to see Michael go... I'm not familiar with his standard routing, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him go up to Lost Woods then to... oh, looks like he's going somewhere else.
So Michael hasn't visited Desert just yet, so this could be our Desert play.
He's gonna steal the race game item, maybe? Nope.
Well, meanwhile, Liam has taken down the Armos Knights and picked up that first sword, as well as that red pendant. Very nicely done.
So now Michael gonna go check Desert. And Liam's starting at the Old Man, and we'll see... Yep, Liam is going to start exploring Death Mountain. Gonna do the standard Hera clip. Basically, you just get spin speed and walk off that corner, and then press up then down, and you can kind of navigate your way to the stairs of Hera as if you were right outside it.
And Michael seeing that hint that I believe chat was discussing earlier, that Bombos is indeed inside of Ice Palace, and we know that is the green pendant today. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we may need that medallion for Meyer, not so much for TR in this mode.
That's correct. TR is totally optional to open the front door, unless you key lock yourself into it, but other than that, yeah. And Liam is looking to get that blue mail up on Spectacle Rock, just trying to do a clip up there to get it, and gets it.
Alright, so it looks like Liam is setting up, I believe this is going to be going to be a way of going to explore East Death Mountain.
Yep. That's what they call the Death Mountain climb, and got a convenient little land bridge that the contractors that built Hyrule left in. So off he goes to Spiral Cave.
And looks like just 10 arrows there in Spiral Cave, so nothing of value yet on East Death Mountain. But we do have quite the amount of checks left here in with Paradox Cave and such. So Michael doing a very nice clip there to kind of wrap the world around, and suddenly we're back at Zora's Domain. I have no idea how that one works, but color me impressed at this point.
Yeah, so Michael K getting rewarded for with 10 arrows. So that's like Zora's Domain and Death Mountain, as far as the game are concerned, are kind of in the same zone. So you can actually descend from Death Mountain to Catfish and the Zora area, depending on if you're in Light or Dark World.
So it looks like Paradox Cave giving us a shovel and that red cane. Potentially going to need that red cane for Meyer and or TR. Kind of depends on where our other pendants show up. And Michael getting the unfortunate news that Tower of Hera is firelocked today. That was a nice variant of getting from the western portion to the eastern portion of Death Mountain by Michael. Alright, so we got a map check from Liam. Looks like we got a blue pendant hanging out at TR. 5-6 crystal. I believe that was Thieves Town.
And Liam is headed to the east side of Dark Death Mountain. So Michael K gonna show us his checks in Paradox Cave, and Liam is going to head on up to the upper portion of Super Bunny to get those prizes that are waiting inside.
Ooh, and there's a hook shot hanging out in Super Bunny with that heart piece. That hook shot's a nice, convenient find since Hookshot Cave is just above. So suddenly that check with the boots going from just 1 ups to a total of 4. So this could lead to more progression for him.
Yeah, you could say that there's actually a way into Hookshot Cave without having even gloves. And a lot of these runners can hover, and Michael K doing a which area Death Mountain descent. But yeah, a lot of these runners can hover as well. So wouldn't be surprised to see them hovering Hookshot Cave. So Michael K picking up a green potion. We'll see what he does with that. That's probably for a YBA.
And we did see on Liam's side that the front side of TR is locked by Bombos. So if we do get key locked, as you mentioned, we'll need that to open up that front door. So again, Michael confirming with that map check for himself. And that is going to confirm that either Tower of Hera or Desert is going to be our other 5-6 crystal. That has yet to be determined, though.
So Liam picking up a small key. And Michael K is going to go into Super Bunny and get that hook shot. And we'll be picking up that second sword in Hookshot Cave.
Ooh, and Liam taking a hit from the chain chomp there. Gonna have to be a little careful now. Even with blue mail, these things do hit for a ton.
And another small key, so Liam is gonna go ahead and go to the front here. We'll be able to check all of one item. Unless it's miraculously the fire rod, which then he'll be able to check the other two.
Not the fire rod, but is the big key. So could go ahead and check that big chest as well.
Yep, and looks like some cash and flippers requires big red bombs, so we're gonna need to get those flippers, and we're gonna see probably a pyramid fairy clip once they get the mirror. And because Liam came in by the big chest, trying to do that death warp, but has a pesky fairy sitting around in a bottle.
Yeah, whenever that happens, it's kind of like, man, I should have got rid of that. But, you know, this is the situation we're in, and walking around aimlessly, constantly trying to drain that health. Luckily, no matter what mail you're on, it's 1 heart per fall, so gonna get that death warp now to check that big chest.
Alright, so Liam is gonna head on down to check out Laser Bridge at this point. So far, nothing but keys. So there's our first item. And Michael K is in Turtle Rock, navigating past those chain chomps as well. So, while you can get to Laser Bridge, the requirements for it in logic still apply. So this would be a sequence break here, but because we do not have an invulnerability item, nor the mirror shield. But maybe there's something good on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, you can always kind of break the game wide open with sequence breaks occasionally. Liam did take that safety door, so just in case this, with 1 heart, this goes awry, he'll be able to start right back here, but gets by it and gets a heart piece, and I believe that filled him up as well, but opting to take that save and quit to get out of TR at this point.
Yep, so TR was a bust unless there's something on Trinex. Or in the fire locked, fire rod locked room. So Liam is doing, he's gonna do the, looks like, Death Mountain Super Drop. So, this is an interesting one to watch. Basically, you get into this, exact position and, kind of just keep dropping down the, whole world map, and then you end up at the bottom of the map.
I see why they call it that super drop, because holy cow, he dropped, like you said, the entirety of the map. That's the first time I've seen that one. That was very cool.
Yeah, you have to screen wrap yourself, use a spin speed clip to get off the edge there, and then have to line yourself up the right way, because if you don't line yourself up properly, it doesn't always work.
Well, with that clip, we do have that Dark World access, so Liam going to be giving us our first check here at Hype Cave. We've got 5 items, but just that first one, speaking of 5, is 5 rupees. We got a bug net, 3 bombs, heart piece, and a heart piece, so kind of a bust, I would say.
So Michael K, starting at the mountain cave, and we'll probably see him access the Dark World as well. There are a few different ways you can do this, descend from Death Mountain after getting into the Dark World. And I would say that Michael K is probably going to take the traditional route. Maybe check... No, not going to check GT right away. It's certainly an option. Not many checks to be had yet. But certainly our runners can go to GT at any time. So Michael's going to check out what's on Bumper Ledge, and we don't need no capes, but it's 300, so he's not going to bother clipping up there. And Liam finding out that the dig game has nothing but 20 rupees as the final prize. Liam headed into Mire. I should say the Mire area. And gonna check. It is Quake that we need, so Bombos is not required. So we may never see Ice Palace.
Yeah, trying to keep an eye here to see which one of these routes is gonna, have that big payoff. Liam saving and quitting out of the Mire area as we're kind of, I believe, stuck there. But Michael doing the upper part here, getting that big key, so we'll be able to check that chest here. But still looking for that little bit of progression to let us inch forward in this seed.
Michael K trying to hover instead of bomb jump. Gives it a couple tries and says nope.
Ooh, and there's the fire rod in the dig spot for Liam. So at this point, we know where that ice rod is. That's at Graveyard Ledge. We could basically go ahead and take Trinex out. It's just not too fun to do here with just a Master Sword, though.
Yeah, that's if they choose. Turtle Rock is a pendant, so. And Liam is going to go ahead and check that checkerboard cave. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Michael K routes in that shovel without the mirror showing up. It's gonna be kind of questionable as to when he's actually gonna check that shovel.
Well, Liam, with that fire rod, going to be headed to the back of desert. This is going to be a crystal form. And once he takes down the land molas.
Yeah, and Michael K headed into the village of outcasts. And there's a required medallion, the Quake medallion.
So I guess for logic, we still need that lamp, but, you know, if these runners are, you know, comfortable with those dark rooms, we could go ahead and knock Meyer out as well.
Yeah, I don't think Michael doesn't know that that's the medallion required, but I don't think he's in any rush to get to the Meyer area at the moment. So we'll see him routed in probably, and if he goes and sees it's Quake, he might go in. Only time will tell.
And so Liam taking on these Landmo with that fire rod, out of magic now at this point, but has that Master Sword, using those spin slashes to get that extra bit of damage. Down goes that second one, just one more left, and down that one goes. Nicely done. Going to be getting that crystal and $300 for his troubles.
And Michael is gonna head into Thieves Town and do Thieves Town. Gonna get the hammer, so no worries there. If there's something in the big chest, conveniently placed hammer for you.
That's always such a nice feeling, getting hammer in Thieves Town, because, you know, most runners especially, like, you go into Thieves Town looking progression, you worry about that small key a little bit, but when the hammer shows up here, it just takes all that worry away.
Yeah, you have some runners that may avoid Thieves Town for a little bit, in hopes to find that hammer, so they'll prioritize overworld checks before going in. But not Michael K, not today. He's got the hammer in hand and is gonna take that all the way to the end of Thieves Town, and from there, we'll see where he goes after that.
I like that setup Michael just did to get that key dash through that door. Very nicely done.
Alright, so no hint on that one for Thieves Town. Michael's now going to go up to the attic and check the chest and let a little sunlight in.
Liam getting that big key in the bottom of Hera, not taking the damage from those tiles, not able to set that death warp up. So gonna have to go the long way back up, unfortunately.
And Liam just tossing those beetles down the hole and headed into the upper portion of Hera. Alright, just 10 sticks in the big chest, and Michael about to grab the quote-unquote maiden, and we got the Cane of Berna in the maiden chest.
Yeah, so we got a nice little bit of invincibility if we so need it, but we're getting this check now for the big chest and just a compass. So off we go to blind.
And yeah, Michael K may want to opt to use that Cane of Berna. Only has 3 hearts at the moment. Count them 4.
Nah, he's got this. 4 hearts, scripted blind fight, I believe. Oh, doing the save and quit menu to get the crazy graphical glitch here. Nicely done.
So we got the blind disco. And Liam picking up that crystal off of Moldorm, so Michael K doesn't need no safeties. Takes down blind with only 1 heart of damage and picks up that crystal.
All right, so that's going to be Michael's first crystal of the seed, but the important thing is that is one of those 5-6 crystals. And on that topic, Liam did finish Hera with a nice Moldorm fight and got the other other one of the 2 5-6 crystals, and is now making his way into GT. Now, without that hammer, not going to be able to go very far on the left side, but will be able to check a few things here on the right side.
Yep. And the Fire Rod will be able to do full right, so we can do right and the Armos, and Liam's gonna hope to find something here in GT.
Oh, he's pulling out that cape. Let's see, are we gonna get a tile room play? We are.
Yeah, if you can't get on the left side, tile room is pretty good option to check here, because you need to check everything you can while you're here.
So Michael making his way into the mire area and noticing, hey, that Quake medallion I picked up, I could use that. Let's see, looks like he is going to make the play into mire.
Yep, he's got plenty of hearts, a Master Sword, a blue cane. I mean, you really can't complain on that about the Vitreous fights. I've had to deal with lower, so.
Yeah, he's fully stocked on arrows right now, bombs, hammer as well, Master Sword. You know, you've got a pretty good loadout here. It's a little slower this way, obviously, but, you know, very, very doable at this point. And so Liam checking that right side, getting the blue boomerang, a compass, the single arrow, that nice unique item, and a bottle of green goo. So off we go deeper into GT on that right side.
So Michael gonna check what's on the bridge here.
Oh, the lamp. That's a heck of a place for the lamp to show up.
Yeah, now we've got Mystery Mire and Logic. Alright, so Michael K getting just a couple of small keys, and we'll be headed off to the left side. Will not be able to check Firelocked. Oh wait, yep, no, that lamp, now he will be able to. So that's convenient for Michael K not having the Fire Rod.
While he's making his way through mire, meanwhile, Liam has dropped in on the Ice Armos of GT, and right beforehand, did pick up the big key So, could opt to potentially climb GT, I do believe, since he does have that bow. We'll have to see what he decides to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a climb here. You're already here, you're looking for items. You might as well knock out Aga 2 at the same time. But we'll be checking that big chest here. Oh, wow!
Oh, that is a solid find. GT Big Chest coming in clutch with the mirror.
Yep, and Liam is gonna go ahead and finish off GT. And now that he's found that mirror, he can access the Pyramid Fairy without even having to get that red crystal in Thieves Town. Alright, Michael K still making his way through Misery Mire. So the last item is either on Vitreous or in the big chest here.
Yeah, no hook needed there. Very nicely done with that quick dash, but just 10 arrows there in that big chest. So, Meyer not really having too terribly much. That lamp's nice to have. You know, these guys obviously aren't going to turn that down. But that crystal is the most important thing, I think, at this point for these guys.
Alright, so off we go to Vitreous. Meanwhile, Liam is doing the gauntlet. About to finish that up and headed to the last portion of GT.
And I think Michael was doing a trick there to set up that spooky action. Does not have the fire rod though, so gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way.
Nothing wrong with the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, it's not as fancy, but you know what? It works 100% of the time. So, gonna bomb that wall, flip that crystal switch, and then we're gonna be off to Vitreous.
And Liam using some bow strats instead of cane strats on those Wizarobes there. Getting the nice zero cycle on that 4-pack there. And Michael K starting the Vitreous fight using bomb strats to be in.
Yeah, I'm not sure, like, as far as the numerical value, like, how much damage the bombs do to those eyes, but the fact that they do so much splash damage where you can just hit, like, at least half of them, it's a solid way to start this fight off. But now we see him using those Master Sword spin slashes to get that Tempered Sword damage scaling. We've got over half of them down already. We've got just a few left.
Just one more to go, and the hard part is done. Now we can just poke the eyeball with some arrows, and we got this down.
Very nice fight there from Michael. Speaking of fights, Liam now headed to Moldorm 2. Moldorm kind of pinning him in a corner there, but doing a nice job. Ooh, staying on that ledge.
And even though Moldorm 2 is in gotta go fast mode, Liam takes him down.
And Moldorm 2 only holding a big 20 for us today. So Liam going to be headed up to fight Aga 2 and get that Ganon door open at least. But we're going to need to finish up these crystals first before we can pay Ganon a visit.
And see, this would be the nice time for Michael K to have Mirror. Unfortunately, that's in GT.
Very solid fight there from Liam, taking down Aga 2.
And it looks like Michael is going to do the Smith YBA. Ooh. And he does not get it. So we'll have to come back later with another potion. So what he was trying to do is use a potion on the same frame that you transition. And the game does weird things when you use a potion on that same frame. And what it would have done was it would have kind of screen wrapped and would have allowed him to bypass the collision around the Smith. Just kind of simply go over there and say, "Hey, what's up? I'm here to take you home." And from there, just kind of take him home.
Well, Michael now is getting his whole lot of nothing in Hype Cave, except for that bug net. So I guess if you want that, that's nice.
And Liam's setting up that Pyramid Fairy, so we'll be grabbing those flippers. Oh. And looks like he was trying to do a Death Mountain descent in the Light World and ended up hard locking himself, so we'll have to try again from the last save point. Which, fortunately, I don't think that was too far away. I think he saved quick before he even started this.
So I believe Michael may be headed to Catfish, unless there's some clip up here he's gonna do, but we've done the majority of the checks up, or pretty much all of them rather, up on the top of Eastern Dark Death Mountain.
Well, what I can probably say is, yes, there is a clip that he can do, but it won't be to get to Catfish. What he's probably gonna do is go check Catfish and then clip back down to the pod area, because that screen he just passed by, from that screen you can just clip straight into the pod area and bypass a lot of the maze as well.
Yeah, and that would definitely save a good bit of time too, so it looks like he is headed back down to do that. And so Liam headed into a Graveyard Ledge, going to be getting that Ice Rod TR, as Jetters had mentioned, is a pendant, so may not even really need this today.
But I guess it's better to have it than to not, so...
So now with that mirror, we will be able to get, I believe, our first check here of King's Tomb. But it is just 20 bucks. But Michael now making his way into pod. First chest today is going to have that big key for us, so now we just got to potentially clear out these items, and with that lamp, hammer, bow, we can go ahead and knock this dungeon out as well.
So Liam is on the west side of the Dark World and is going to start that Skull Woods. Will be able to finish, has the Fire Rod. And
Liam doing a nice job with that hover there to get across the gap there.
Meanwhile, Michael K picking up half magic in pods. That's a very nice find. So now we get to the back of pod and we will see if there's any progression here. As far as progression that's left, let's see. Actually, I think it's just the Fire Rod from Michael K.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think we're pretty much, you know, from the booth perspective, we're in no mode. Like, we know where everything is to finish this up. It's just a matter of when is Michael gonna find that Fire Rod and then make that dive to GT to get the mirror. But, you know, I guess we just gotta wait for Liam to pick that hammer up. But there's Titan's Mitts there for Michael K. Nice to have, but not absolutely needed in this case. So I believe we got a hint that the flippers are in Pyramid Fairy?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I was under that assumption, so that would be one item that both runners are going to have to pick up as well. Alright, so Liam dropping in on the Moth, has that Fire Rod, also has that Master Sword. So between the two of them, as long as those spikes don't get in the way, we just need 8 hits or 4 spins. But those spikes are not playing kind with him today, and Moth is liking to hover around those spikes as if they were big bright lights, but does manage to take him down, getting rewarded with 10 arrows, and more importantly, that crystal.
Alright, so Liam is headed out of Skull Woods here. And Liam will be making his way into Village of Outcasts, so we'll probably see the Thieves' Town here, and this will also mean that he will find Quake, which he already knows is required for Misery Mire.
And so Michael has dropped in to visit Helmasaur King today. Getting in those first 9 shots, got those 2 holes in the mask, just need to get up to 17 total, and that mask is going to come flying off. And now it looks like he's going to opt for the bow strats, just need 8 shots with that wooden bow, much more than if we had silvers and could just do the 1, but that's not going to be the case today. And does a fantastic job to finish up Helmasaur King, and going to be getting yet another crystal.
And Liam is now headed into Thieves' Town. We'll be picking up that hammer and will be in no mode. Still will have to pick up the flippers because I don't see that he went back after he didn't get that that fairy clip there.
And I do believe this is going to be the shovel check here for Michael K.
Oh. This is a race, folks.
So the last thing Michael's going to be looking for is that mirror, and we know that that is up in that GT big chest.
Oasi, he did check the mire area earlier, so he should know that mire is Quake. So Michael K going to finish off the land mow here. And yep, he is. Oh, looked like he was going to bypass that chest.
You know, when I'm in go mode like that, if I don't go hit that chest, I end up walking out before the bomb goes off, and then that is the ultimate feels bad. So even if, you know, he knows he's in go mode, that could just be a way of making sure that thing is going to open up.
Oh, Michael K is going to need the mirror still as well, so that's an advantage for Liam.
Yeah, it's really just going to depend, like I was saying, when Michael is going to make that GT dive. You know, he does have quite a bit he can finish. He could go ahead and finish up Hera. I don't know how appealing that's going to be to him. He does have both of those fire sources now, as well as finishing off Skull Woods. But currently we are here in Desert, taking on Land Molas with that fire rod. They're kind of getting away from him today. But we've got 2 of them down so far. And just needing a couple more hits, and we can get that final one taken down. Very nicely done. So while Michael is grabbing that crystal over in Desert, Liam already in phase 3 here on Blind, keeping this fight on script and keeping it throughout the script, the entirety of that fight. Nicely done. Going to be getting that big fat 20 there, and that 5-6 crystal.
So I think we could be seeing our GT dive here. Starting from Mountain Cave, yeah, I can't imagine he does anything else because he has the Fire Rod as well. So Michael K says, I can clear all of GT, it's time. That's my best guess. Oh, I'm gonna probably do Hera first, I guess. Meanwhile, Liam is headed over to Misery Mire, gonna clear that out.
And Michael's setting up that coffee break. I guess the downside to this is we'll see if he pops off early from that peg. Does not have the mirror, so he's going to have to walk back up the slow way unless setting up that death warp.
Alright, Liam in Misery Mire, and Michael K getting to flip that switch before he walks out the door.
Making use of that fire rod with that half magic to flip that one here up on top. But now, with that big key, we can start ascending the treacherous Tower of Hera, getting a nice spin slash there to take out the first two with a nice hit to knock him down the pit. All right, so Liam in Mire now going to pick up that lamp. And now he is just searching for that big key.
So, I guess it was kind of a good thing that Michael K did not get that Smith YBA, because it would have taken some time away from him.
Yeah, that definitely could be some kind of blessing in disguise scenario. Now, Michael did try to hover the gap earlier in Paradox, or rather Spectacle Rock. Does not have that hint that everybody's talking about another sword being on the left side of Swamp. And as chat was mentioning, we don't have those silver arrows just yet. So that could be a factor. Master Sword Silverless, quite the time investment. Pretty much, a lot longer than the Tempered Sword variant.
And Michael K getting that bumper bypass.
And there's the big key for Mire, for Liam, so he'll be headed towards the back. Michael, meanwhile, dropped in on Moldorm 1, and Moldorm, unfortunately, giving us a hard time today. And Michael taking that fall, luckily, only down to that 5th floor. So we'll be able to run right back up and say, no, I'm not giving up that easily, and drop right back in on this fight.
Moldorm, hardest boss in the game.
Some days he is. Some days he's super easy. It just, it kind of just depends on the day. But Michael going back up, getting back on that horse, and showing us how easy that fight can be. Nicely done. Getting that map. So now I guess we could, explore Tower of Hera if we wanted to with, a guide. But I think the more important thing is we've got that crystal. And now we'll see if Michael makes that play into GT. We know where that's where he needs to go. He does not know that just yet, but Looks like that may be the case.
And we're gonna get a Spike Cave check first. Good time to route this in. And Liam fighting Vitreous here, using the Cape Strats. The probably easiest strategy to fight Vitreous. I don't know. I'm not sure if Silvers are easier or the Cape Strats are easier.
You know, especially since they're all Master Sword, I'm gonna have to say the Silvers are easier just because, you know, it's one shot per eye and then two for the big ol' eye. But Liam did a nice job there with that cape and is being rewarded with that crystal. And Michael now in GT. So now it's the thing that could be a problem for Michael is that he has full access to the left side. We could find a sword over there still, and that would be beneficial for him, I think. But quite a lot more on the table for him to check rather than when Liam visited.
And Michael is going to go ahead and do Tile Room as well. So it looks like we're going to go full right here. But I believe he does know where the flippers are. I can't remember where that hint tile was, but I think they both got it. So if he picks up the mirror, this could be good for him if he found that hint. And speaking of that hint, Liam is gonna go and get those flippers, and will be officially in go mode.
Yeah, and just trying to think of places where Liam could save, you know, more time. You know, Michael did clear Pod in its entirety, whereas Liam will be able to just go mode that, and especially with that big key showing up in the very first chest, just pretty much go pick up the keys on the right side and go visit our big buddy Helmasaur.
And there are those flippers, so at 1 hour 17, Liam is in go mode, and also going to find out what the fairy is giving out today, and it's red goo.
And see, this is what I was referring to earlier. Michael does have that opportunity to go left side, so taking that Death Warp, and is going to be going full left side. Will be getting the big key along the way, but unfortunately, I think this is going to be a little bit of a time sink for him. You know, unless we get something crazy like silver arrows and/or another sword.
Doomtap in chat saying that the flipper hint was the front of T-Rock, so I don't know if Michael checked that hint.
Michael says, I don't need no hookshot where I'm going. Just hovers that gap, then bonks right on across. That was very nicely done.
So, with GT being the place for lost items, basically Michael K is going to possibly find any number of items that we still have yet to find. So there could be a lot of miscellaneous things here.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we still haven't seen the book show up, you know, and on top of that, the flute as well. So we could see all kinds of fun things today.
and Liam grabbing that big key and headed off to the right side, so...
Michael, yet again, giving us another hover there, foregoing that hook. Doing a fantastic job with that today.
Yeah, apparently it takes too much time to menu to get to that hook shot, so Michael says, yeah, I'm not gonna bother.
You got to keep that menu time, that menu timer down in the credits as low as you can. There's a sword, so that could be beneficial for Michael. I don't know if that's going to make up that time gap, you know, of having to check that full left side, but, you know, definitely is going to make up a little bit of time along the way.
Yep. And a sword in GT, what a shocker. Michael K releasing Bob.
And getting that big key from Bob's chest, but meanwhile dropping down to Ice Armos. We've done this fight before over in Eastern. Just now it's on ice for your pleasure.
Yeah, they hit Broadway musical Almost on Ice.
Does a fantastic job to take them down and headed to the back here. Meanwhile, Liam has dropped all 17 hits here on the Helmosaur King and is on to phase 2. Has that Master Sword out to kind of buffer those hammer shots. Just need 4 of them and got all 4. Nicely done. Going to be rewarded with that crystal. So now with that mirror and the hook and the flippers, we can go take out Swamp Palace as well. And that's going to be a nice quick go mode. But there is mirror for Michael K.
Yeah, so Michael knows what he needs to do now, and that's finish GT. Whether or not he got that hint, I still can't remember if he checked that, but I wouldn't be surprised if he checked Pyramid Fury anyway.
You know, it had slipped my mind. You know, Liam's already done GT as well. So at this point, all we really need to do is just take down Argus, and then we can just drop right on into Ganon. We'll see if Liam decides to go left side to pick up that sword, or if we're going to get the treat of seeing one of these guys potentially do Master Sword Silverless Ganon today.
Michael using cane strats to get past that area there. I expect we'll see a trip to the safety room. Dying in the climb is not very good.
Yeah, not very good. Kind of an understatement for that, I would say. Because nothing hurts worse mentally than being, you know, halfway or even part of the way up, and all of a sudden you're headed back down to the bottom to do it all over again, and no way to really do it any faster than you did the first time.
Yep, and Liam has the pleasure of a swamp go mode, so is probably pretty excited about that.
Yeah, anytime you can go mode swamp, not have to, you know, search high and low, left and right, especially left when you can avoid that, but for items is always a treat. Looks like he is going to opt to go straight to the back. No level 3 sword for him today. Says, I don't need that. We'll see if he checks for any silvers in the back along the way. Those checks aren't very far out of the way.
And Liam's not going to check the flooded room.
Yeah, that one's a little far out of the way. Gets a red mail for his troubles here in the waterfall room, so that's going to make this potential for a Master Sword Silverless Ganon fight a little more comfy.
Yeah, in terms of things you could find, obviously you want to find another sword and or silvers. But if you can't find those, I would take a red mail for a Master Sword Silverless.
All right, so Liam in the Argus fight now. Each of these puffs going to take either one spin or 2 regular slashes. A little bit of a slow fight here, you could say, for the Master Sword, but doing a nice job of grabbing 2 puffs here, getting that 1 spin in up to 2 cycles so far. Not uncommon here with Master Sword. Just has 2 puffs left. Very nicely done to get those in, and getting out that Fire Rod to try and do a little bit of a quicker strat here for Phase 2. Unfortunately, missing that second shot, but just need, I think, 1 more shot or 2, and down goes Argus for Liam.
Alright, so Liam is off to see Ganon. Meanwhile, Michael K. taking down Moldorm 2. Not going to give us those swag hovers on this gap.
Yeah, Michael did open those chests at the top, so my thought is maybe Michael doesn't know where those flippers are. I can't recall if Michael actually did check and get that hint.
Yeah, I would say that he didn't, because you've got tempered swords, so at this point, I mean, you might still be checking for silvers, but I wouldn't guess it on these runners.
So if you're just joining us, it looks like this might be close, but unfortunately, Michael does have a few dungeons left. He is in that Aga 2 fight, but this is Overworld glitches after all. But Liam has all 7 of those crystals, and is going to be taking on the Big Pig. We've got Master Sword Silverless Ganon, 52, count 'em, 52 spin slashes today. Lining up here to get a couple of doubles in before he throws that thing. Gonna need 12 for Phase 1, 12 for Phase 2, the 4 for Phase 3, and then 24, yes, 24 for the silverless portion here with that Master Sword. That is quite the battle of attrition, I would say.
Oh, and it looks like Michael K is going to go into Hyrule Castle for these checks, and this could be where silvers are, but definitely not where he needs to be.
That green goo coming in handy, able to get a couple of seconds saved, I guess, by using that cape. Also has that red goo, so finding that and the Pyramid Fairy is a nice blessing for Liam. Back up to full health and full magic, but we're on to Phase 3. So we're just a little over halfway, or excuse me, right at halfway with this next slash. And we just got 2 more and then 24 more, so I think he's pretty much got this on lock unless we do see a Ganon fall here.
Ganon being a little uncooperative. And there they are, Michael K picking up the silvers in the front of Escape. So, Silverless Ganon is more about concentration than it is difficulty.
Yeah, it's kind of just sticking to your cues. You know, a lot of people are really intimidated by this fight. And honestly, if you can do Master Sword, Tempered Sword Silverless, you can do this one as well. It's just a matter of managing that magic. Liam opting to use the lamp, very nice decision there. It uses a lot less than that fire rod. Actually, I don't even think he could finish this fight without that without using the lamp, just because not at half magic, and I don't think he has any goos left at the moment. Yeah, Liam doing a fantastic job here. Got a good portion of the hits in. I'm not counting them out loud. I'm not counting them in my head either. So it's going to be a surprise for me and you guys, unless you're counting at home, to see when this big pig is going to go down.
And GTG saying in chat that you can do it with the Master Sword Silverless with the fire rod, but you need 8 perfect cycles of triples.
I think that's about as smart as maybe fighting, Trinex with Fighter Sword. You know, who would do that? Liam is chugging away at the big pig, and there he goes. Down goes the big pig for Liam. Get those GGs in chat. Just that 1x3 bridge between him and victory today. And he has made it across with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 32 minutes, 12 seconds. Congratulations to Liam, and we'll see if he wants to come in for an interview.
Meanwhile, Michael K continuing on, trying to solve this puzzle of where is his go mode item.
Yeah, it's safe to assume now, the fact that he hasn't just beelined it there, that we did not get that hint check from Michael. Kind of an unfortunate thing, but that can be the value of, investing that little extra time to potentially check those hints. It doesn't always pay off, but when it does, you have a scenario similar to this one. And it looks like we are joined in chat now by Liam Atlas. Liam, GG.
Thanks very much.
So, what are your thoughts on this seed? Did you like it, not like it? 10 out of 10 would do again?
It actually was a really good seed. I was disappointed, but not disappointed at the same time finding Hammer so late. But because finding it so late meant that it was my go mode item, so there were so many Hammerlock stuff I never had to check. But hints were definitely very powerful this seed.
Yeah, two of the things that went in favor for you was Michael K never got the flippers hint, and also Michael K didn't check shovel until pretty late.
Yeah, that's a tough one too. I forget where we got shovel, but it was decently early, I think. But it's just you never are gonna really route that in unless you maybe have mirror or like I'd like to do. I was gonna go check Sick Kid and K45, and since I had the shovel, it was all in kind of one swing. Finding
Yeah.
Fire Rod there, man, I went straight to start doing dungeons though. That was definitely the catalyst for that.
Yeah, Michael K had a nice lead in dungeons for a little while, but not having that fire rod really kind of hurt him, and as well as having both the hammer and the fire rod when going to GT meant he pretty much full cleared the basement.
Yeah, I could imagine. That's kind of what I was alluding to too. Not having hammer basically be go mode because I already knew where flippers was meant I skipped so many things. And then pod lined up perfectly for just clearing it out really quick. And swamp, of course, is super fast in go mode.
Yeah, two things that really played to your advantage with the way the items lined up for you. Michael did do a full clear of Palace of Darkness, whereas you were able to go mode it, especially with that key being so early on at the very front. On top of that, he did not check that hint, as you were alluding to how powerful they were. Not checking that hint in TR is kind of what's got him searching still. Just finished up Skull Woods, but is still searching for those flippers.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of those too. Like, I just pulled up the screen now. I see he has a mirror. I'm actually, well, it's one. That's in logic, right? To go fake, to do the pyramid fairy with just mirror.
Yes.
Because I was actually trying to do that and failed the clip afterwards, but.
Yeah, kind of another thing just to point out that was like the big time investment, I guess you would say, for Michael that worked out very well for you was, obviously you didn't get Titan's Mitts in pod, which we see him doing that now, unfortunately. But in addition, with him having that hammer, he had more opportunity to check things in GT, which is where he got that third sword. But, you didn't have to worry about left side at all. And getting the mirror out of there, you were pretty much done as soon as you took out Aka 2.
Yeah. I mean, it's so open when you play Overworld glitches, though, that you never really know.
Yeah, there was a potential of having to go to, ice if bomb balls was required for Meyer, but, that never played out. But, when things show up in pendant dungeons in any seed, that's where it really has potential to turn the race upside down. And apparently the Smiths gave Michael K a snack to send him on his way. Pick up that mushroom.
A mushroom is not what you want to see come from the blacksmiths in the situation we are right now. Just him looking for those flippers, just that one item that's escaping him. But here's a magic bat check. Let's see what we're going to find here today.
So, if you don't mind me asking, where were silver arrows at?
They were in the front of Escape.
Oh, okay.
I think it was the first chest as well, wasn't it?
Yep.
The boomerang vanilla check, yeah.
It was that small key that's in that chest, or, well, no, the map chest,
Yeah, that's correct.
So, Michael, doing a bunch of overworld checks, knows that basically has cleared Turtle Rock. I'm not sure if there's an item on Trinex. I wasn't paying attention to item count there, but knows that the flippers can't be in Swamp, and probably doesn't want to go to Ice right now. They could logically be in Ice, because Fake Flipper puts that, or fake flipper is allowed in logic for overworld glitches, but yeah, I'm sure nobody wants to go to ice unless they have to.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. I'm so glad I didn't find Titan Smiths.
And Michael is going to go turn in that mushroom, it looks like. Trying to get the, for those of you not sure what just happened there, when you dash near holes that you can fall in, it will give you water walking state as well. So that's always a neat application. There are some, such as Skull Woods and Lost Woods, to go into that portal over there. And Michael finding the book, that's another thing that you don't want to find.
That's unfortunate.
Man, if you didn't do the Smiths, you know, you were really lucky, because that's one huge debate right there. And Michael K pulling off the YBA over there. So is gonna clip on up to Bombo's tablet. And what shall he receive? Just a heart piece from the sky.
So while we see what Michael's next move is going to be, so Liam, this puts you at 2-1 in your Group E. It is pretty early on, but that does move you into an outright first place. How you feel going forward with the rest of these matches?
It's going to be pretty tough, I feel. There's a lot of good players in this tournament, and in my group included. So it's going to... I'm really interested to see how this all shakes out at the very end. I know there's a lot of good races. I got another one with Michael to do. I already did my 2 versus Owase, and they were both really good races. So I'm just excited, looking forward.
And both tablets having a heart piece today.
All right, so let's see. It looks like Michael might be setting up, if I'm seeing this right, it might be the setup for that glitch down to the Pyramid Ferry.
Yep. So it looks like he's using the clip over there. It looks like he just set up the portal and is going to Houlihan. Very nice mobility here. So using that Houlihan to get back to Link's house faster is a very nice move.
Yeah, that whole sequence was pretty wild to me, considering, you know, I don't really come from playing overworld glitches, so this is super. I mean, this I've watched 2 matches of this tournament so far. It's been super exciting to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more of this tournament.
All right, so Michael K will find those flippers and will be in go mode. And given that frustration slash... But yeah, the, I mean, it really did... Basically, the thing that started it off is the fire rod, because not finding that fire rod till late meant that he may not, like, he may have, if he had found fire rod earlier, he may have done a GT dip, much earlier to find that mirror. You know, but I think it's all kind of stems around that fire rod.
Yeah, and then even just having the mirror earlier, even if you don't immediately go to that check right there, it just helps so much. Just clear stuff out faster.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, I think I'm gonna go ahead and take off. Thank you for the comms. Thank you for Tracker and Restream as well.
Well, thank you for joining us, Liam. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we look forward to seeing the rest of your matches in this tournament.
Thank you very much. And early GG to Michael. I know he's a little bit frustrated finding those flippers there, but yeah. See you guys.
Yep. Make sure to give Liam a follow for putting on a great race for us. And if you are wanting to see more of this stuff while we wait Michael to finish Swamp Palace, this is a packed day for Overworld glitches today. We've got this is just the first match of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches today. The next one, 1 p.m. Baliame versus Farame on SpeedGaming 6. Then you've got myself versus Idiom at 2. And then the back-to-back race, Baliame versus Farame at 3. And then at 7 p.m. we have Doomtap versus Farame. And at 11 p.m. we have Spleeby versus Mentos Man 8. So, quite a few matches today.
I'd say that's a couple.
Yeah, first week of the tournament, people are kind of chomping at the bit to get at these matches. So, as you've said, you're not too familiar with the Overworld glitches, and so like, does this make you want to try some out yourself?
I mean, I'd give them a go. You know, doing it in the competitive environment like this, it reminds me of cross keys. For a while, I was sitting here thinking, you know, do we even really need to do AGA 2 in Overworld glitches? But, you know, we don't know where, you know, we know where the Ganon pit is, and we've got to have that hole. We can't really just clip in there. But I guess we could, but that would be some underworld stuff, and I know that is not allowed. But yeah, I think I might give this a go one day and just see what I can learn and how much fun it can be.
Yeah, I mean, so, and for those of you out in the crowd wondering, you know, how hard some of this stuff is, to be honest, there are more advanced techniques that our runners are using in certain situations, but a majority of the clips and things like that are basically just learning how to do teleports. Once you do that, get that down, you can apply that in many, many different places, and lots of people already know how to activate spin speed. And spin speed is useful because it does weird things to the collision of corners of walls and such. So when you're at a corner of a wall, sometimes you can just slip right through it.
Yeah, I've used that in practice. You know, I say, like, you know, if I'm playing a seed, not in a race, you know, because it's not allowed in a race, but I know how the TR one works, and it's like, you know, I just want to get into TR really quick, and I got to finish this seed so I can get on with my day. You know, I might just go ahead and jump through the bridge there, like we saw earlier, to get down to the laser eye entrance, or the big chest entrance.
Yeah.
All right, so Michael finally here at the Big Pig has that Tempered Sword. We just need 12 slashes for phase 1, 12 for phase 2, or if we want to go double time, we just need spins, 6 of them for each phase. So it looks like he has enough in for phase 1, already into phase 2 now. So there's 2, just need 4 more, now 2 more. There we go. Off we go to phase 3. And also, unlike Liam, gonna have those silver arrows. So, gonna put him on a skewer, so to speak, rather than hack and slash him up to death. But still gonna have to deal with that nasty amount of teleports we saw on Liam's side. Those are seeded here, after all. So, Ganon is going to play Ring Around the Rosie, Keep Away, whichever you prefer, for a good minute here. And with those last 2 hits, we are in phase 4 and just need to slash and throw some arrows. But we didn't get the torch glitch, but that's fine. In a nice position here, gonna get a double, maybe a triple, almost. But just need 1 more, and there it is. Down goes Ganon for Michael K. So get those GGs in chat. And once he crosses that line, we'll get you that official SRL time. And Michael K has finished in second place with a time of 1 hour, 51 minutes, 14 seconds.
And we will be joined shortly by Michael K. And we are in the booth with Michael K. GG's. And how did you feel about that seed?
Mostly fine, just in the end, the normal hunt for that one last item.
Yeah, so a couple of things that contributed to this. There was a hint in Turtle Rock
Okay.
for those flippers. And that was at the front of Turtle Rock, and Liam found the fire rod super early.
Yeah, I guess I could have checked the shovel a bit earlier, but I didn't have any reason to get into that region anymore, so...
Yeah, that's what I noticed. You know, you'd done all those checks, and you didn't have the mirror when you were headed down to the Stumpy and Hype Cave areas, so I knew that it was probably going to be a while before you got back to checking shovel, because you just isolate that sometimes, and it's, it makes all the sense in the world while you're running, but sometimes it just gets you.
Yeah, I at least had the palace in that area still to finish, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. But the other thing was that Smith chain. How'd you feel about that? Where it was Fetch Quest City over there?
Hey, completely normal. I think Chad liked it. Getting mushroom into book into tablets.
Yeah, Chad always loves those fetch quests. So, but yeah, Smith really got you this time.
Yeah, kinda. Could have gotten a bit earlier, but didn't work out. Missed my inputs there.
Yeah, we were watching that one, and we were saying at first that maybe it was a good thing that you didn't get it, and then you ended up getting those Titans, Mitch, which pushed you back in that direction.
Yeah, I kinda was hoping to at least find like a mirror or something before against Tower, and no.
Yeah, and the other thing was Liam went to GT with only the fire rod, so couldn't check left side, and ended up finding that big key and the mirror a little bit earlier as well, whereas you had the hammer and fire rod, so could check the whole place.
Yeah, kind of empty place here.
So, but sometimes that's the way rando goes. So is there anything else that you'd like to say about the seed or the tournament?
I would just say the seed was fine, and I liked the way I could route around a lot of things in this game. Just would have wished to have some flippers and mirror maybe a bit earlier. A tiny bit. And yeah, the tournament, awesome. Only thing that I kind of am struggling with is getting commentators.
Yeah, it's definitely we've got Dante in here who's not the most familiar with the overworld glitches, and he's been enjoying it a lot. So
yeah, the execution between both of you guys, I gotta say, like today was on point. There was a time gap, obviously, with the way the seed finished up. That was due to item placement, but both of you guys played absolutely phenomenally. Nailing a few of those hovers there, not even worrying about pulling out the hook shot. Absolutely fantastic job there by you.
Yeah, that menu wastes too much time. In the end, you pretty much lose time more to it than you actually save. So yeah. GG's, I guess.
Yeah, GG to you, and we'll get things wrapped up here. I do want to give, hopefully I say this right, Simimus, our tracker today, a huge shout out. Big thank you for tracking this for us, because obviously we cannot do it all, and we need that help. So a great appreciation there. And I do want to thank Jetters for co-comming this with me. A GG to both of our runners yet again, and I'll throw it over to Jetters to close this one out.
Yep, and as I said before, if you're looking for more Overworld Glitch tournament matches, the next one we have will be at 1 p.m. Baliame versus Fraime on SpeedGaming 6. And then after that, they'll have a second match at about 3, as well as myself versus Edium at 2 on SpeedGaming 5. And then we've got DoomTap versus Faraime and SpeedGaming 5 at 7 p.m. And at 11 p.m., we've got Spleeby versus Mentos Man 8 and SpeedGaming 3. Aside from that, it's been a great race to watch, and definitely a fun one. Make sure you give our runners a follow. The links are in chat, as well as my co-commentator Dante and our tracker Simimus. And I am HXC Jetters. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a great day.